Pickoff move no good. Count remains 0-1. He tries it again.
No, we're not. How entitled are you to walk up here and come in here and ask that fucking question?
0-2 to Garrett Cooper, swinging a fly ball. Hit softly down the left field line, trailing in, making the grab in foul territory is Connor Ross. So we go to the top of the third inning. Lefties still ahead 1-0. We'll be right back at Civic Field. Jacob Doyle, the center fielder, getting ready to lead off the bats for the HarbourCats in the top of the third. The first pitch from Wrightstone in there for a strike. A curveball finds the zone. The 0-1. Down low in the dirt, evens out the count. One and one now with nobody out to center fielder Jacob Doyle. And the pitch on the way is inside and down low. Dominguez tries to frame it. Doesn't get the call. That time, offside on the outer edge of the plate. Doesn't find it. 3-1. Jacob Doyle looking for the HarbourCats' first base hit of the night. And that's fouled off towards the left side. Makes the count 3-2. Skied into center field. Markey going back on it. And makes the grab on his back foot on the run for the first out of the inning. So one out here.
Now batting, number 22, Jake Butler.
Jake Butler tries to lay down a bunt, pulls back at the last second, ball one. Left-handed Wrightstone on the bump with 2 outs. And he lines one into right field for a base hit. So finally, the Victoria HarbourCats in the hit column here in the third. Jake Butler reaches first on a single into right field. First pitch on the way to Tanner Baltowski as we go back to the top of the order is up high for a ball. Butler on first with one out. Wrightstone the pitch. Skied high and deep out to left field. Cooper reaching back to the wall, leaps and makes a catch at the wall. They won't be able to get to Garrett Cooper with some acrobatics out there in left field. And there's 2 outs. After the amazing catch from Garrett Cooper, Jack Johnson will be at the plate here with 1 out. 1 on and 2 outs, excuse me. Wrightstone checks on the runner at first. Butler on first. He runs the pickoff move over to first base to try to get him at second. Was good, but the throw to second bounced in the dirt. He's safe at second base. First pitch from Wrightstone fouled back, and Jack Johnson starts off his at bat 0-1. 0-1, 2 outs. Runner on second base. Wrightstone was about to fire the 0-1, but a stoppage by the umpire delays it. Time was called by the batter to adjust his elbow guard. The 0-1 from Wrightstone over to Schulman. This time he fields, throws over to first. And the end of the inning, so 1 hit, no runs, no errors. And the Lefties are going to try to add on to that slim 1-0 lead here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. We'll be right back at Civic. Leadoff hitter Danny Porras stepping in to the left-hander's batter's box to face Hudson Lance. Leading off the bottom of the 3rd inning, the pitch on the way, skied into shallow center, ranging in on it and making the catch, Jacob Doyle for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out to Danny Porras. That'll bring up center fielder Tommy Markey.
Now up to bat, number 13, Tommy Markey.
First pitch to Markey from Lance. Skied high into right field. But reined in by Jake Butler, the second baseman. So 2 pitches, 2 outs now for the Lefties, and then go to Markey's Fordham University teammate, Taylor Kirk.
Now batting from Fordham University, number 1, Taylor Kirk.
Pitch on the way, inside, ball 1. Bounced out of the inside of the catcher's glove and off of Taylor Kirk. One 0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Evens out the count at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs now. And it's swung on and missed for strike 2. Taylor Kirk just took a pair of hard swings, and the count goes to 1-2 now. Pitch on the way. Lined up the middle. Base hit for Taylor Kirk here with 2 outs. That'll bring up cleanup hitter Levi Joyce with a man on first.
Now up to bat, number 9 from Edmonds Community College, Levi Joyce.
First pitch to Levi Joyce with a runner on first and 2 outs. In there for a strike. Oh, and 1 now. Lined into left field softly and drops before hitting the glove of Connor Ross out there. Runners on first and second, and a little bit of a rally here from the Lefties. That'll bring up Jack Edmonds, the man who has homered in 3 of his last 4 Civic Field home games. Hit 1 last night as well. First pitch down low and outside, ball 1. One and 0, 2 outs. Grounded back up towards the shortstop. Edmonds digging hard to first. The throw still in time. 3rd out of the inning. And we will go to the top of the 4th. Quickly moving baseball here in Port Angeles. Lefties still lead 1-0. We've got a little bit of technical difficulties out there in center field. The camera used to broadcast from center field to show the pitcher from behind is covered by the protective cover preparing for the rain forecasted tonight. So we are sending a guy out there that'll get it right again. Until then, we're going to have to use the ball in play camera. And after the first out, that'll bring up Logan Shepard. First pitch in there to him is a strike. And Wrightstone's 0-1 is grounded right back up the middle for a base hit. So Logan Shepard gets on via the base hit.
Now batting, number 17, Connor Ross.
It's great right now.
And the first pitch to Connor Ross is up high for a ball.
We're working through it. Yeah, that's working. Today we came in and it didn't work. So, yeah, we've been troubleshooting it. We're getting something going, but it's taking a second. Every time you've been hearing do, that's us resetting something. So
Pickoff move no good.
we'll figure it. This is the first game. That's me.
I believe that could have been a foul ball. Swing and a miss. Down it goes. Connor Ross for the second out of the inning. Pitch in there for a ball. The back pick attempt no good. You've got the center field facing in camera back up again, so that's what we'll use. And the 1-0 pitch on the way from Wrightstone is up high for ball 2. 1 on, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Dylan Lopez at the plate. Pitch on the way. In there on the outer edge for a strike. Pickoff move no good. Count remains 2-1. Runner on the move. Throw down. Would have been in time, but it slipped out of the glove of Levi Joyce, who had to reach down to get it. So the count moves to 2-2, and the runner's safe at second after the stolen base. Make that 3-1. That pitch was called a ball. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runner on second. And that's outside for ball 4.
Now
Ground ball towards the left side, past the glove of a diving Taylor Kirk, and the throw in is wild. The runner will advance to second. So the game is tied after a single and an error. One ball game with runners on second and third and 2 men out. Wrightstone trying to work out of a jam here. Oh, 1 after the strike called on the outer half. Oh, 1, 2 outs. Swing and a miss from Curtis McKay. Count goes 0-2. That's down low and outside. Make that J.C. Allen at the plate with a 1-2 count. Lined into center field, Markey trailing and makes the catch. So after an error, the score moves to 1-1. And we go even now into the bottom of the 4th inning. Lefty's going to try to take the lead back. Dom Dominguez stepping in to lead off an inning for the 2nd time today. And the first pitch to him from Hudson Lance is grounded off towards the right side. Stays fair inside the bag and fumbled with a little bit over at first base by J.C. Allen. However, does not matter. Still grabs it and steps on the bag for the out.
Now batting, number 14 from Tennessee Tech University, Kane Jinks.
That'll bring in Kane Jinks, playing first base today. Also plays on the mound sometimes. He's a two-way guy. Lines one that drops in front of the shortstop. Tanner Baltowski's throw over to first base is in time for the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting, number 35 from Harvard University, Tyler Schulman.
That'll bring in Tyler Schulman, the third baseman. First pitch to him is in there for a strike. And that time, line into the net, protecting the parking lot down the left field line. 1-2. Sorry, 0-2 with 2 outs. Pitch on the way. Down low and outside, ball 1. One and two with 2 outs, the pitch. Called a ball down low and outside, 2-2. Popped up. Foul territory and out of play. Bounces into that same net that protects the cars in the parking lot. Hudson Lance in his 4th inning of work right now, giving up 1 run all the way back in the first. Been pretty clean otherwise. That is skied foul territory towards the left side. This time playable, and the catch is made by Connor Ross for the 3rd out of the inning. So we will go to the top of the 5th. Lefties 1, HarbourCats the same. Stepping in for the HarbourCats, getting ready to lead off the top of the 5th inning. It's Jake Butler, the first pitch down behind Dom Dominguez and off the backstop for a ball. One 1-0, Wrightstone's pitch on the way. Inside for a ball, 2-0 now. That is lined hard, 92 miles an hour off the bat into left field for a base hit. And the order will turn over to Tanner Beltowski with a man on and nobody out.
Now batting, number 45, Tanner Beltowski.
There appears to be action in the Lefties bullpen. First pitch down low was going to be a bunt, but he pulled it back in time. The 1-0 is skied into very shallow right field. Porras under it makes the catch for the 1st out of the inning.
Now batting, number 32.
Tanner Baltowski, the leadoff hitter for the HarbourCats on the night, steps in with 1 on and 1 out. Wrightstone checks over on first base, nothing doing. And the 1-0 is skied into right field. Porras under it again, makes the catch. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. That'll bring up Jack Johnson, the third baseman.
Now batting, number 25, J.C. Allen.
First pitch to Allen is up high and inside for a ball. The 1-0 fouled back, 1-1. The 1-1, a ball inside, makes the count 2-1 with 2 outs. Wrightstone checks back on first base. And gets ready to deliver the 2-1. It is swung on and hit into center field. Tommy Markey under it in, makes the catch for the 3rd out. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. The Lefties are going to try to get back the lead they lost in the top of the 4th. We'll be right back at Civic Field for some Lefties offense. In steps left-handed left fielder Garrett Cooper to lead off the bottom of the 5th. He will line one into center field. It was a fight between Curtis McKay and Jacob Doyle out there for the ball. Jacob Doyle makes the grab in center for the 1st out of the inning, so that'll bring up the top of the Lefties order, Danny Porras, the left-handed right fielder. In the Lefties outfield all night tonight, they're all left-handed. Danny Porras from the left-handed batter's box, Garrett Cooper, and Tommy Markey, all left-handed hitters. That is called a strike on the outer half. On defense tonight, the HarbourCats behind the plate, Dylan Lopez. Around the infield, J.C. Allen, Jake Butler at second. Jack Johnson at third, and shortstop Tanner Baltowski. Outfield left to right, Connor Ross, Curtis McKay, and Jacob Doyle. Hudson Lance, their starting pitcher, and he is all the way into the 5th inning here. Had one shaky inning in the first and has been pretty dominant ever since. Danny Porras in a 1-2 count here with 1 out. Lance shakes the first sign, then goes into his motion. The pitch. Foul back, keeps the count 1-2. One and two with 1 out. Grounds it. Foul towards the right side. In the lefties dugout. We'll make sure that that one is in good hands. As in they bring it back to the umpire. Danny Porras awaiting the 1-2 once again with 1 out. Pitch on the way. Off the plate inside, 2-2 now. Fouled back. Count remains 2-2. Two and two now to Danny Porras after the foul ball. And the pitch on the way is swung on and missed for strike 3. Down goes Danny Porras. And there's 2 outs now. Called strike on the inner half to Tommy Markey to lead off his at-bat. Markey's at-bat, or excuse me, Markey so far on the evening is 1 for 2. And came across the score on the Levi Joyce RBI single. 0-2 now to Tommy Markey. Pitch on the way. Foul back. Count remains the same. 0-2, 2 outs. Oh, and 2 once again. Down low outside. 4 ball. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Pitch on the way from Hudson Lance. Popped high into left field. And getting under it, making the catch will be Connor Ross. So we go now to the 6th inning. Pretty well through this ball game here in Port Angeles. Still tied 1-1. We'll be right back at Civic Field after the break. Swing and a miss at the first pitch. From designated hitter Logan Shepard, leading off the top of the 6th inning here in Port Angeles. And after a foul ball, the count 0-2. That one outside. Count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter, Logan Shepard. Wrightstone into his motion, kicks and fires up high and outside. Count moves to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Logan Shepard via the K. And Seth Wrightstone's 6th strikeout on the night. He is dealing, aside from his 1 earned run, dicing up the Victoria HarbourCats the same way that Hudson Lance is doing it to the Lefties offense. Skied into center field. Markey going back on it and finds his spot. Nests under it and makes the catch. 2 outs now here in the 6th.
Now batting, number 18, Dylan Logan.
First pitch, a ball. Way up high, 1-0. That one's in there. Count moves to 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Connor Ross lines one hard over to Levi Joyce, and he throws to first quickly for the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th after a 1-2-3 top half. Seth Wrightstone through 6 innings, 1 run allowed. Great performance so far from him tonight. First pitch from Ben Burek. Make that Ben Hewitt. His first and second pitch both down low. So a 2-0 count, and that one down low as well. 3 balls and no strikes to the Lefties leadoff hitter, Taylor Kirk. Ben Hewitt, so far on the year, 10 2/3 innings pitched in 5 games, all out of the bullpen. 7 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned runs, all allowed. 5 walks, now 6 after that ball 4 to Taylor Kirk. And 3 strikeouts, 2 wins, no losses. 1 double allowed, a 2.53 ERA. That's a strike. Levi Joyce in there, lays down a bunt, foul. Moves the count to 0-2. Oh, 2. Nobody out. Runner on first base. The pitch. Down low and outside. The umpire made a motion as if he was going to call strike 3 and then quickly pulled his arm back and started shaking his head. Quite indecisive. One and 2, the pitch. Outside. And there's the same arm motion that he did last time. That's why I thought he was going to ring him up on the last pitch, but down goes Levi Joyce via the strikeout. And in steps Jack Edmonds. Edmonds, 3 home runs in his last 4 home games. 2 in the Kelowna series last week. And 1 last night. That is flying into right field. Ranging in on it. And making the grab down the line is Curtis McKay for the 2nd out of the inning.
Now batting for your Port Angeles Lefties, number 25, Dom Dominguez.
First pitch to Dom Dominguez down low. The throw over to second base to a stealing Taylor Kirk is a ball and too high. So 1-0 count and a runner on second after Kirk stole second. Down low and outside, ball 2. Swing and a miss. 4 strike 1. Dom Dominguez evens up, or sorry, gets closer to evening up the count at 2-1. That is skied foul off towards the left side and evens up the count. Ground ball over to second base and flipped quickly over to first, so the 3rd out of the inning. We go now to the 7th. So, 1-1. And we'll be right back after the break.
Going into the 7th inning, scoring Lefties.
I don't think we'll be playing the hat game, sir.
Still tie game.
I don't think we're playing the hat game, sir.
If I press enough buttons, we can play the hat game.
If he presses enough buttons, we could maybe play the hat game, like Matt told him to. Yeah, I know. I know.
Whatever computers, you know what I mean?
We didn't do it.
Curtis McKay takes the first pitch. For a ball. 1-0 count now as he lines one straight over to Tyler Shulman at third. Flip over to first. In time for the first out of the inning. So that'll bring up
My phone's still live?
excuse me.
How, bro? It's been surviving on 1% like the entire time.
Please excuse me. That'll bring up Jacob Doyle. As he grounds one foul.
Yeah, I mark this down all the time, you know. Totally not.
And a wave and a miss makes the count 0-2. Word from our official scorekeeper who's got a view of the bullpen. Ian Hofstetter warming up in the bullpen for the Port Angeles Lefties. As Seth Wrightstone here in his 7th inning of work.
No way. Rip. Throw that. Wrap it up. Wrap it up. It's joke.
Count moves to 2-2 after the ball. Ground ball, left side. Shulman's throw to first in time. The stretch from Kane Jinks helps get Jacob Doyle on the ball, and in steps Jake Butler now.
Now batting, number 22, Jake Butler.
Scores tied. We're at, is it top 7? Top 7, scores tied 1-1.
First pitch fouled away by Jake Butler. And the 0-1 is waved at and missed for strike 2. Oh and 2 with 2 outs. The pitch outside. 1-2. Not called. Strike 3 on the outer half. Seth Wrightstone, 7 innings, 1 run allowed, and 7 strikeouts. Great day for him.
All
The fans at Civic Field will get up and stretch here in the middle of the 7th. And we'll be right back in a tie ball game. 1-1 Lefties HarbourCats going to the bottom of the 7th. First pitch to Kane Jinks. Leading off the bottom of the 7th inning is down low for a ball. 1-0. Swinging a high fly ball out to shallow center field, ranging in on it after a couple steps back and a violent sprint over to over near second base. Jacob Doyle makes the catch for the first out.
Now batting, number 35, Tyler Short.
First pitch to Tyler Schulman is in the stands, foul. Count goes to 0-1. Count goes to 1-1. And the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says the home plate umpire.
The guys in point streak, 27 went in for 17 Ross. And then Doyle moved to right field.
Fly ball out to left field. And the catch is made. So that's the second out of the inning. Garrett Cooper steps in, the left fielder on the night. We've had a couple defensive substitutions. A couple of outfielders switched around. Jacob Doyle was replaced by Isaiah Afwerk. And as the count moves to 1-0, 1-1, excuse me, it is lined into right field and a foul ball. I apologize because of all the stuttering here on the broadcast. We've got a malfunctioning video board out here, and I'm having a little bit of trouble keeping track of things.
Now I'm about to help you out by standing here.
Fly ball, center field, left center field, trailing in and making the catch is the new center fielder, which now I have to find the name of again. Excuse me. Isaiah Afwork. He makes the catch, and that'll bring us now into the 8th inning. Baseball moving quickly here in Port Angeles. 1-1 ball game. And Victoria is coming out.
Shouldn't you click?
Excuse me. We'll go to the top of the 8th inning, where Victoria will try to put on at least one run, get a little bit of insurance going into the last couple innings here. Tanner Baltowski stepping in here in the top of the 8th, leading off the order and the inning for the Victoria HarbourCats. And the 1-0 pitch is inside for ball 2. Seth Wrightstone still working out on the mound. Pitch hit high out to center field. Tommy Markey calls it off and makes the grab. 7 1/3 innings. 1 run allowed for Seth Wrightstone. The bunt attempt, no good. Pitch down low, ball 1. And that wave and a miss makes it 1-1. And that's a ground ball off towards the left side, fielded cleanly and thrown back over to first base for the second out of the inning. Seth Wrightstone threw 7 2/3, 1-run innings. Likely it for Seth Wrightstone. Pitch number 100 on the way, in there for a strike. 1 run all day from Seth Wrightstone back in the 3rd. And here's the 0-1. Down low, called a ball. Brings the count even. 1 ball, 1 strike here in the top of the 8th. And the pitch. Fly ball. Right field. And foul. Makes the count 1-2. Seth Wrightstone, 1 strike away from going through 8 innings of 1-run baseball. Here's the pitch. Swinging a weakly hit fly ball. Danny Porras under it. And an 8 shutout inning performance from Seth Wrightstone. He gets an ovation from the crowd as he leaves the field. Great game from him out on the bump. We'll be back in the bottom of the 8th where the Lefties will try to put him in the books as the winning pitcher by putting 1 run on the board and holding on through the top of the 9th. We'll be back at Civic Field looking for a Lefties win. Leading off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Lefties, Danny Porras. Still facing Ben Hewitt off the mound. First pitch called a strike. Trackman disagrees, says it's a couple inches off the corner. And the pitcher will exchange hats with... mess with PitchCom with the shortstop. Excuse me. So he gets back on the mound after the count goes to 0-1 in the pitch. Bunt laid down the left field line. It goes foul, and the count goes to 0-2. Me bombo. 0-2. Nobody out to the...
This one's flat. Oh, this one is. Oh, it's also microphone, just with no extension like this.
Danny Porras, the pitch is high and outside, 1-2. That is lined foul, and the count stays 1-2. Lefties looking for some late inning magic here. They've played 2 extra inning games here at Port Angeles in Civic Field. They've both been losses. That's called strike 3. Danny Porras goes down looking. That one, as opposed to the first pitch of his at-bat was actually in the strike zone. And in steps Tommy Markey. First pitch off speed, up high, called a ball, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, one man out. Pitch on the way is lined up the middle for a base hit. 90 miles an hour off the bat. And Tommy Markey's aboard with 1 out. Lefties, late inning rally needed here. Tied 1-1. They're looking for the go-ahead run here in the bottom of the 8th. Seth Wrightstone's day is likely done. He's thrown over 100 pitches. And to credit a performance that impressive, they'd like to notch a win in his win-loss record column. First pitch in there for a strike. 0-1 with 1 man out. Runner on first. In the pitch. Up high, off speed, doesn't find the zone. Count goes to 1-1. Lefties on the season, 12-19. They've dropped their last 3. A win tonight would put them 4.5 games back of first place. Hewitt steps off. Count remains the same. On the other hand, Victoria HarbourCats 18-15 and in first place in the North Division. In the North Division, in the second half, wild pitch brings the go-ahead run here in the 8th. That's the more important matter to second base here with 1-1 count, 2-1 count after the wild pitch with 1 out. Two and one out the pitch. High fly ball. That's just lightly popped over to the first base side, and catch will be made by J.C. Allen. So, go-ahead run stands at second base, and in steps Levi Joyce with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Joyce so far on the evening played second base all night. 2 for 3 with an RBI, the only RBI on the team for the night. He would love another one here. Swings and pops one. Right back towards the press box's general vicinity, out of play, and foul. 0-1 now with 2 outs. Tommy Markey leading off at second base. Levi Joyce at the plate. The pitch. Called a ball off the outside edge of the plate at 91 miles an hour. Evens out the count 1-1. The pitch on the way from Ben Hewitt. Outside. 2-1 now. Two balls, 1 strike. Markey leading off at second base, standing as the go-ahead run. Here's the pitch. Joyce into left field, but way foul. 2-2 now with 2 outs and a runner on second base in a 1-1 ball game. Lefties searching for a run here in the bottom of the 8th. 2-2, 2 out. Hewitt kicks and fires. Down low, fills up the count. 3-2 now. Three, two out. Runner on second. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 4, Levi Joyce is aboard. Runners on first and second now. Runners on first and second for Jack Edmonds, the man with 3 homers in his last 4 home games. Pitching coach going to go ahead and give a little advice to the man on the bump now. Make sure he knows how to approach Jack Edmonds. Head coach Donald Bray also coming out to talk to his power guy. And he seems to be up there with a lot of confidence. He's getting cheers from the audience. Edmonds so far on the season. Started a little cold. Since then, 19 for 70 with 5 homers. One last night, 17 RBI, 2 walks to 17 strikeouts. High production. First pitch on the way, outside edge, called a strike. 0-1. Here's the 0-1 to Edmonds. Taken for a strike on the inner half. Quickly in an 0-2 hole here. First and second, 2 out in an 0-2 count. Bottom of the 8th. Lefties trying to put a win in Seth Wrightstone's W column. 0-2. The pitch. Checks the swing. Did not go. 1-2 now with 2 outs. Lefties looking for some late inning rally magic. One and two, 2 outs. The pitch on the way. Swinging a ground ball foul. And the count remains 1-2.
I literally feel like that freaking wolf, bro. I swear. The one that's.
1-2, 2 outs. Runners on first and second in a 1-1 ball game. Edmonds checks his swing, called a ball. Off the outside edge, a look of relief from the designated hitter as he quickly steps in the box and gets back to work. Lefties need a clutch at bat here. 2-2 with 2 outs again. Here's the pitch. Down low, runners on the move, full count. And runners move to second and third. Go ahead, run 90 feet away here in the bottom of the 8th.
Question, what is this plugged into? Well, it's probably charged. It's at full. I'll put it back in if it gets up.
3-2, 2 out. Runners on second and third. Go ahead, 90 feet away. The pitch to Edmonds. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Jack Edmonds. Clears the bases and ends the inning. We go to the top of the 9th. Lefties and HarbourCats tied at 1. And the only way we will see a Lefties win now is via the walk-off. Seth Wrightstone, his day is over. The book is closed. He will receive a no decision. And out of the bullpen for the Port Angeles Lefties, we are looking at Ian Hofstetter from Chaffey College. We'll be back after the break for a 9th inning of Lefties baseball here and possibly more after that. Stepping in here in the top of the 9th inning, Logan Shepard, the designated hitter for the Victoria HarbourCats. And the first pitch to him is off the outside edge And pretty much the same location where a ball was called a strike to Kane Jakes. Oh and 1. And that's there for a strike. 0 and 2 now to the cleanup designated hitter Logan Shepard. Ian Hofstetter out of the bullpen for the Lefties so far on the season as a ball is lined into left field for a base hit. And the HarbourCats have got someone on here for a little rally music here in the top of the 9th inning. Hofstetter, 26 innings, 26 even, 8 games, 1 start, 28 hits, 13 runs, 13 earned, 16 walks to 15 strikeouts and a 1-0 record. The bunt down foul. Count goes to 0-1. Hofstetter sporting a 4.5 even ERA. No balls, 1 strike. Connor Ross at the plate.
Pinch hitter.
Make that a pinch hitter for Connor Ross.
Name is Isaiah Affworth.
We're looking at Isaiah Affwork for Connor Ross. The bunt's down fair. Charging and making the throw to first base is Tyler Shulman. However, that does its job. The sack bunt moves the runner over to second with 1 man out. Go ahead run in scoring position for the HarbourCats in the 8th. Or make that, sorry, in the 9th. Isaiah Affwork comes in and gets his job done. Sack bunt. That'll bring in catcher Dylan Lopez with a go-ahead run in scoring position here in the 9th. Hofstetter, Stetz. And the pitch on the way. In there for a strike, 0-1. Looking to get out of the inning here with 1 out. And complement the 8-inning, 1-run performance from Seth Wrightstone. Hofstetter into his motion, kicks and fires from the stretch. It's down in the dirt. Ball 1, and the go-ahead run moves 90 feet away. Dylan Lopez waiting. The 1-1, it's up high for ball 2. You have an option here. If you're Ian Hofstetter, first base is open. Walking Dylan Lopez sets up a double play to get it out of the inning. You could also work for the strikeout and make any out be enough to end the inning. This is swung on and mashed into left field. Looking up, it's way gone. 2-run home run for Dylan Lopez. Takes a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 9th. Absolutely belted. 86 off the bat. And didn't even get a correct read on TrackMan. That was destroyed. And a team celebration down the third baseline as he takes a 3-1 lead for the HarbourCats here in the top of the 9th. Curtis McKay steps in a newly founded 3-1 ball game. 1 out, grounds 1. Shulman over at third, fires over to first, and that's in time for the out.
45, Jacob Doyle.
So with 2 outs, in steps the left fielder, Jacob Doyle. He started tonight in center field, and then after Isaiah Affenwerk came in, moved over to left. Pitch on the way from Hofstetter. Swing and a miss at the first one. 0-1.
We're winning. Wait, no, we're not winning.
It's 3-1.
Looking at my phone.
That is called a strike. Off the outside edge. Trackman disagrees. However, still works in favor of Lefties pitcher Ian Hofstetter. 0-2, 2 outs. Hofstetter looking to get out of the inning now that the damage has been done. And instead drills Jacob Doyle in the back at 86 miles an hour. Now there's a runner on first base here for Jake Butler, the 9-hitter. In comes Tanner Knapp, coming to check on his guy in the bullpen, make sure he gets out of the inning without any more damage being done. Jake Butler stepping in after the visit of the mound from Tanner Knapp. And Hofstetter's first pitch is a curveball that doesn't find the zone, up high for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 men out. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Evens up the count at 1-1. Tries to lay down a bunt, pulls back in time, 2-1. Smashed into left field. This one staying in the yard. 83 miles an hour off the bat, hit pretty hard out to left field. Sounded really good, but caught out there and left by Garrett Cooper. So, Lefties need 2 runs back, or else they're going home the losers tonight. Bottom of the 9th inning coming up when we come back at Civic Field. Dom Dominguez stepping in, getting ready to lead off do-or-die inning and his third leadoff at bat of the night. Jake Finkelstein out of the bullpen after first pitch ball. Finkelstein so far on the season for the Victoria HarbourCats as this is popped foul towards the left side, ranging in on it and unable to make the grab is third baseman Jack Johnson, so the count moves to 1-1. Finkelstein, three and a third innings pitched. 3 hits, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, 4 games, 0 earned runs. Looking to stay as dominant as he has been. That outside for a ball. 2-1. Dominguez at the plate. Here's the pitch. Down low, in the dirt. Count moves to 3-1.
What'd you do to me?
3-1 after the wild pitch in the dirt. And that's up high for ball 4. Dom Dominguez via the leadoff walk gets on base to lead off the bottom of the 9th inning for the Lefties. And in steps Jeremy Giesig. Would come in and play first base for Kane Jinks. And we have a pinch runner over at first base.
Now pinch hitting, number 16, Jeremy Giesig. And pinch running over at first base, number 17, Jet Nelson.
Jet Nelson is going to be the pinch runner.
I can. I feel like right now it's not him on base.
That runner right now doesn't exactly matter unless Jeremy Giesig gets on. Nelson scores from first and doesn't quite tie the game. The pitch from Finkelstein, lined into left field for a base hit. Lefties have got some magic going here in the bottom of the 9th. So Giesig at first, Jet Nelson at second, and Tyler Schulman at the plate. Lefties looking for some magic late in this one. Runners on first and second. Jeremy Giesig representing the tying run at first base. Nobody out. The pitch to Schulman. He'll drop down a bunt. Fair down the third baseline. He's going to wheel to first. He will be safe. The throw pulls him off the bag. Jet Nelson's going to score from third, and the Lefties have the tying run at third base here with nobody out. Runners on the corners, and it's 3-2.
That brings the score to the Lefties 2, HarbourCats 3.
Who's through that? The catcher or the third baseman?
You said this is Sam Madison?
Who's the pitcher?
Sam Madison pitching?
Now pinch hitting, number 12.
We will have a pinch hitter, Sam Matisich. With the tying run on third base here for the Lefties. Matisich so far on the season, 21 for 72, hitting nearly 300. 3 doubles, 1 triple, 6 RBI. Needs to be clutch here for the Lefties. Ground ball to the first baseman. Giesig tries to go home, and he's nailed at the plate. He didn't think that the first baseman was going to try to go home there. So the fielder's choice gets Giesig at home. And with runners on first and second now, Tyler Schulman represents the tying run at second base. Giesig maybe banked on that ball getting through. Here's Danny Porras. That pitch in there for a strike. Porras hitting well so far on the season for the Lefties. 13 for 46, hitting .283, 12 RBI, 10 walks. Here's the 0-1 from Finkelstein. This one inside, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Tying run on second. Winning run on first base. Here's the pitch. Outside, taken by Danny Porras. It's 2-1. Finkelstein trying to work out of a jam. He's given up his first, or excuse me, that was an unearned run, so his ERA remains at 0. Porras to the right side. It's a race to the bag. The flip in time. And the Lefties are down to their final out here with the tying run on third base. It's do or die here for Tommy Markey, the center fielder, who has the second highest average on the team. Markey, 352 average, 32 for 91, 4 doubles, a home run that came in the series finale versus Kelowna last week. Finkelstein's first pitch, called a strike on the black, 0-1 with 2 outs. Edmonds 90 feet away from tying this game and bringing extra innings. Tommy Markey trying to keep the game alive. Here's the pitch. Off speed, taken for a strike down the middle. And it's 0-2 here with 2 outs. Tommy Markey trying to keep the game alive for Port Angeles. Jake Finkelstein trying to shut it down for the HarbourCats. Here it is. Outside, called a ball. 1-2 with 2 outs. A base hit, and I assume the runner from second's going to try to score. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called. Breaking ball just catches the top of the zone. Tommy Markey not happy. Walking back to the dugout, and the Victoria HarbourCats have taken the series here in Port Angeles. Lefties, late inning magic almost sends them home the victors, but they just can't hold on long enough. Port Angeles almost catches the win here tonight. Jeremy Giesig banked on a ground ball getting past the first baseman. He fielded on a hop, throw to the plate instead of first base, where Giesig thought he was going to go, even maybe if he caught the ball, and he was out at the plate. So the HarbourCats survive a late inning rally from the Lefties after hitting a 2-run home run in the top of the 9th, and this ball game is over. The HarbourCats improve to 20 wins overall on the season, or excuse me, 19 wins on the season, and Lefties on Jet Nelson's birthday are not able to come up with the win, unfortunately, but happy birthday to the middle infielder. And we will see you tomorrow at Civic Field for the Game 3 of this series. Lefties trying to fight off a sweep. See ya.